first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Everyone, this is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. We appreciate you joining us wherever it is. Thank you for doing so. We are live here every weekday throughout the afternoon, covering a wide range of topics and live streaming here from the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. Whether you're following us on YouTube or at KPTV.com under the Fox 12 Now tab or on the Fox 12 Oregon apps, thanks for doing so. And the Oregon Charity Championship is something we've been covering quite a bit. It's coming up on October 7th, featuring a number of different nonprofits and charitable organizations doing amazing things for all kinds of communities here in the Portland area and the Northwest in general. And we're getting to share some of their stories. And that's what we're doing today. We're talking about Live Heads Up, and we are joined now by Chris Love-Dudley, the founder of this organization. And Chris, thank you for being here. I appreciate it a lot. And, want to get into, we'll talk about golf here in a minute. But before we get to golf, let's talk about Live Heads Up. And if you don't mind, just telling us a little bit of, the backstory of the organization and what it is you do.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. We're so excited to be part of this tournament. There's so many great nonprofits in Oregon, and I'm a fifth generation Oregonian. And so anything that can focus on helping the people of our state, we're super excited to be part of. But I started Live Heads Up, actually started in 2019, not as a nonprofit, but as a brand. And it really, the message kind of was simple, is I just felt like we were living in a time where we just didn't see each other. And I just thought it was really disappointing. And I was like, we just kind of see a lot of people either in their phones or hanging their head or just seeing past each other. And I was like, I just want to create something that is getting people to see each other, keep their heads up in their thoughts and their actions. And I got invited to be on a panel at Super Bowl because of it. I used a quarterback analogy. If you get sacked and you hang your head, it's going to keep happening. And happened to be an event that led me to be able to be on a panel in Miami talking about how that is a thing for life. We have to keep our eyes on our goals and looking out for the people around us, how we can get them to their goals, and all of us win to get a win out of it. And then that was incredibly successful. We were on ESPN down there. But then a month later, the world shut down. So we came back after that, seeing my own kids, seeing everybody around us. We were that much more heads down coming out of COVID. And we decided to switch it over to become a nonprofit foundation that's for everybody. It's keeping your head up. It's seeing the world around you. And not every day is a Live Heads Up day, as one of our coworkers says, but when your head's down, pick up a piece of paper and find ways to help other people. And that's what we've been doing in schools, communities, sports teams at all levels, little kids all the way up to the pro level.
Well, when you look at that, the timing there, 2019, get started on that. And then bam, what we all went through. With that, which talk about being separated. Even in 2019 you were trying to get people together, 2020 it was impossible. So definitely very, very important as people were coming out of that and what you're doing there. Now, when you talk about all these different communities, would you mind just sharing some examples of some different things, with all these different people that you're working with, on how you help them keep their heads up?
Yeah, absolutely. We got initially asked to go into a elementary school. The very first one actually was in San Diego. It was a PE teacher that I knew. He's the only PE teacher at the school. It's a Title I school. And a lot of the kids are from a gang community. Parents are incarcerated. They have food insecurities. They name it, you name it. And he said, could I bring Live Heads Up into my school and do it in my PE class? So we created a program that within 6 months transformed their school, which was kids coming up with ways every day that they can keep their heads up and look for opportunities in the world, to get an A on a test, to study hard, ways they can help other people. So they started a program called the LU Crew, the acronym for Live Heads Up. They do a workbook. They look for ways to help each other, look for ways to help teachers keep their head up for safety. It actually made a huge impact, not only in the classrooms, but throughout the school. They do assemblies, announcements. So we expanded that. That was an elementary school. We expanded that into another school from there. Oregon is home. So we expanded it here, worked with sports teams, high school teams, We've actually, a lot of the Duck players, we're Duck Beaver supporters. It's for everybody, but a lot of the Duck players are wearing the wristbands now. It's been pretty cool to see that they've taken it on, is keeping their head up, looking for goals. So we've worked with colleges, all different people. They use it as a way, like, keep your head up, look for your goals for a championship, school, you name it, communities, how neighbors helping neighbors. I could go on and on, obviously, but there's a lot of great things happening, a lot of opportunities in neighborhoods to help each other too.
Well, I like that. It's being there in your community and helping out the people around you, but also, to some extent, what you were talking about there at the beginning, personalizing it too. We're figuring out what keeps your head up and what can keep you going. And on that personal level, for you, switching from being a brand to this nonprofit, how does it feel for you to be out there helping so many different organizations and some of these schools and kids and Ducks players or whoever it may be?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, we give away, we have normally actually just gave one away, but we always give away 2 wristbands. They say "Live Heads Up" on them. But we always have 2. And well, actually, let me ask you, why do you think we give wristbands out in 2s to everybody?
So that you can share it with somebody else?
Exactly. One is a reminder every time you start to hang your head, get maybe a little bit on your device too much. It's a reminder to keep your head up. And then it's to encourage other people. And so honestly, I'm not wearing one because I just gave it to a stranger who was telling me at a gas station that they were having a really hard time. And so I actually gave it to them and I just said, "Hey, you know what? You just know that I'm giving you this. And every time you start to hang your head, I'm going to be cheering you on. Like you just know you have somebody out there, and just use that as an encouragement and pass it on." And so that's been really fun to see people get empowered by that. And the stories, sincerely, I've had people say life's been hard enough that it's actually kept me from considering suicide, which was an amazing experience to have and something that'll fuel you forward, to have somebody come back and tell you the impact of that. Even that simple wristband, that reminder, we're all in this together. We're all doing life together, and we have a lot more in common that we have separate. And it's kind of time to remind each other. There's also a ton of science behind it, the increase in dopamine levels when we look at each other and we connect. And that's being proven time and time again.
Well, I think that's a really good example of being at the gas station, because you never know what somebody else is going through, what their day is, what's happening with them. And so sometimes that positivity can really be something beneficial, even if you don't even realize it. So I totally understand the wristbands and Live Heads Up on that end. When it comes to, the organization and being able to do what you're all doing, obviously there is the Oregon Charity Championship coming up, and we're going to talk about the golf side of things, but we're talking about the funds. Should Live Heads Up win the tournament, win the championship, what would you be doing with those funds?
Well, we're keeping our head up and our eye on the goal of winning it for sure. The best part of our team is that I'm not playing. I'm really good in a scramble as long as I can hit someone else's drive, but
not the drive though. Okay.
No, I'm looking around instead of looking where my ball's going. But the cool thing about what we're doing with Live Heads Up is that the programs that we've created are free of charge to schools. We want to make sure that nobody's ever in a position where they can't participate in it. And that's been an amazing thing. And we want to continue to expand the programs that we do within communities, helping teams. We want to make sure it's accessible to anybody. And so that's a really big and important thing to us, is that we do try to raise funds so we can pass it on to programs.
And for the tournament, for the golf side of things, as you mentioned, you won't be playing. You'll be cheering on, helping your teammates, I'm sure. But what do you think your chances are?
I think we have a really good team from what I've heard. So I feel pretty strong about it. I'm pretty competitive. So I think I trust my captain to put together some good competition.
Yeah, coming from your family and your organization, I would imagine it's pretty competitive. That makes sense.
Yeah.
well,
Fortunately, my husband is not playing either. That's
okay. I
another
was
good
gonna
thing.
say because yeah, I would imagine he's not gonna like losing if that goes
No,
in
that is for
the
sure.
competition. That part never goes away.
Absolutely.
Um,
Exactly.
but for the organization itself, everybody out there, that wants to find out more, wants to contribute, wants to help or engage with Live Heads Up, what is the best way for them to do so?
They can go to our website, liveheadsup.org. Connect with us on social media, which is actually a really cool way to do it. Get on Instagram, Facebook, um, at Live Heads Up, because we have some really neat events coming up. We have a Be Like Jeff event, which is a football player from Lake Oswego High School who has ALS, was given 3 to 5 years. He has gone on to coach and run a leadership program at Lake Oswego High School, and he's been living with ALS for 41 years. And he is constantly challenging kids to live heads up. So we have that event coming up on October 25th. There's a red out at Lake Oswego High School. The kids are super active, super involved in keeping that inspiration. So check that out. We'll definitely be working through that event, putting pictures up, but connect with us. Let us know if you've got an organization that's interested in doing something. Please do reach out to us. We would love to continue to grow the mission and the message, get everybody to live heads up, pass it on.
Well, Chris, thank you very much for joining us to share what it is that you do and all this help that you're doing for those different communities and different people that are involved in it, and taking your organization out there and helping people keep their heads up. So thank you very much for joining us here too. I really appreciate it.
If I can give one more shout out to
Mhm.
John Blackholm, because what a brilliant concept to have this tournament. So I really am grateful for him giving exposure to all these charitable organizations. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. And for everybody who's watching, this is Fox 12 Now. We're live. We're going to sign off here for right now. And if there's breaking news, we will be back on whatever platform you're watching me on. But remember, you can watch all of our segments and share them from the Fox 12 Oregon YouTube channel, kptv.com, or the Fox 12 Oregon app. It's on whatever device you're on. And we do cover a wide range of topics, including things like this, finding out about the Live Heads Up with Chris Love-Dudley here, but lots of other things too for you to take a look at. So please feel free to do so. But we'll sign off for right now. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.